Hello class, and welcome to Chapter 7, Conversion Business Process. Our learning objectives for Chapter 7 are 1. Describe the business activities that comprise the conversion process. Develop an activity model of the conversion process using BPMN. Understand and apply different activity modeling options. Develop business rules to implement controls for the conversion process. Develop a structured model for the conversion process using UML class diagrams. Implement a relational database from the UML class. And diagram of the conversion process. So let's review some conversion accounting. So we buy work in process inventory, or we transfer raw material to work in process inventory. We have to record our manufacturing wages. We have to record, we have to move those manufacturing wages to work in process. We have to record our manufacturing overhead. We have to record additional manufacturing overhead for utilities. We have work in process inventory where we move factory overhead to work in process inventory. And the very last step is finished goods. We move our work in process to finished goods. Then we have inventory that we can now sell. So when the quantity on hand of a product dropped below the minimum level, the item manager authorized production to increase the quantity on hand. And again, we're talking about Sunset Graphics and their conversion process. Based on the bill of material for that item, they issue material into work in process. So that's when we move stuff from raw material into WIP. Sunset Partners then constructed the items. Upon completion, the products were placed in inventory or finished goods. So let's look at a basic purchases BPMN activity model. So in this model, there we go, back to full screen here. We start with authorizing production. We issue raw materials, in which case we would record transfer from raw materials inventory to work in process. We perform work, we add direct labor and allocated overhead costs to work in process as that work is performed. And then we complete production, in which we would transfer the work in process to finished goods inventory. So if we look at this model more refined with some swim lanes, the inventory manager tracks inventory levels and authorizes new production, while the conversion partners set up batches and perform work to create finished signs and banners. So if we look at it with the process, the inventory manager authorizes productions, and the conversion partners or the manufacturing type employees set up the batch. They issue raw materials, they perform work, they inspect work. If there's errors, they discard them and issue new raw material and re-perform the work. Then, is the batch done? Yes. We move on. If not, we issue more raw materials and complete more work. If it is done, they ask if everything is done. If not, we set up a new batch. If yes, we complete production, and the inventory manager updates records. So we move that production into finished goods. So if we refine the model with process flow, we set up the batch, we issue raw materials, we perform work and inspect work, we discard errors to issue new raw materials. Is the batch done, yes or no? So we see that process flow loop until the batch is complete there. And intermediate error events interrupts flow if the inspection failed. So this second loop in the process, if are we all done, is process flow until all batches are complete. So let's talk about some business rules or internal control examples for conversion process. For authorizing production, our intention is to partner with proper authority. The partner with the proper authority authorizes production to ensure finished goods available to meet expected demand. Partner authority action supervisor must authorize production greater than $5,000. Access controls. The partner authorizing production cannot modify inventory records. That would have to be done by another employee so that we don't end up throwing away inventory or giving away inventory and not recording it. Application controls. System must provide authorization order, number control, default values, range and limit checks, and create an audit trail. What about for issuing raw material? Our goal is to issue from raw material according to bill of material recorded accurately. So the partner issuing material must not be the same partner that authorized production. This is a segregation of duties issue, as is all the partner authority actions. Our access control is partner recording issue of material cannot modify bill of material. And application controls. System must only allow partner to enter the number of items issued based on bill of material, subject to range and limit checks on quantities. So we can't issue above a specific range for materials. So in some cases it will be exactly that same amount of that's on the bill of materials, and that's usually for higher dollar items. Oftentimes lower value items, the order or the drawing or whatever's used is within a specified range, plus or minus 10%. So that's often what's allowed by the system, plus or minus 10%. Business rule types. Supervisor must authorize production greater than $5,000. Sample of obligatory rule states should occur. And example of a prohibited rule states what should not occur. Partner issuing material must not be the same partner that authorized production. So Sunset's basic conversion UML class models. So right here, our number 1 is product authorization. Number 2, which finished goods to produce. Number 3, record raw material issue, part of our inventory control. Number 4, specifies the bill of materials. And number 5, records use of labor. Revised conversion UML class. Bill of materials promoted to type image here. And partners responsible for specific product categories here. So the reason we have a type image is it tells us we might have a different type of bill of materials depending on what we are producing. So our database will contain 8 tables to implement classes and 2 linking tables for the relationship between purchases and products. So let's see that. We will see that in our access example in a few slides. Posting foreign keys example. Which tables will get foreign keys? For example, the partner number or the primary key for Sunset Partners will become a foreign key in the production authorization table and material issue events. The production authorization number will become a foreign key in the material issue event. So let's see that here. So we see, where's our material issue here becomes a combined key here, a combined primary key in our material issue material table. So we have 2 primary keys, the other one is the material number. We can also see here that this partner number links to a few different tables. Here in the material issue table, it's called issue by, and we would use the partner number there. Here in the labor operations partners, we have it here. In the product category manager, we have it here. So it's called a few different things, but it's the same field in different tables. So that is the end of chapter 6, or chapter 6. No, I'm lost. I'm sorry. Chapter 7 says so right here. So I thank you for viewing. I pray that God blesses you all this week and you have a wonderful week. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. See you for chapter 8.